All right, fellas, welcome back. Today, I'm going to share something that is probably going to be the most personal thing I will ever share on this channel here. Reason I'm deciding to share it now is because this week has just been like an explosion of Me Too stories coming out in the gaming community. It's been in the news in this community that a lot of Twitch streamers are getting banned off Twitch because of sexual misconduct allegations. And hearing those come out is encouraging a lot of other people to come out and share their stories as well. And believe it or not, I do have one of my own, which I'm going to share with you today. So I'm going to tell the story here, and along the way, if it ever seems like I'm joking around or making a mockery out of the whole thing, or if I'm cracking a joke here or there, just know that this is me, this is who I am as a person, and everybody deals with things differently. I just don't want to put out the impression out there that I'm like making a mockery of the whole thing, because it might seem like that from the way I tell the story, or the way that I titled this video, or what's in the thumbnail. But you will see after I tell the story, this is a real legitimate instance of a Me Too experience, and it does meet the definition of the R word, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So I'm going to tell the story, and then we're going to talk about how I've kind of had to have this forced outlook about the whole thing over the years. So if you're new, dudes, make sure you subscribe, okay? Turn your goddamn notifications so you can be a part of the buzz every single time a new video goes live. And last but not least, and I truly hope you do this time, watch the entire video, don't be a bitch. Now, fellas, this story takes place back on St. Patrick's Day of 2012, okay? I was 21 years old at the time, newly 21. I think it was like in my first 6 months of being 21. So, needless to say, we were just getting fucked up all the time, okay? We're all newly 21 years old. We're old enough to drink. We could go to the liquor store or whatever. Just your typical 21-year-olds being 21-year-olds, man. So, it's a Saturday night, and we're trying to find something to do. You know, we're sitting around pre-game, and we're already drinking, but we're trying to find something to really actually do that night, because it's our first St. Patrick's Day being 21. We figured maybe we'd go out to the bar or whatever. But it turns out one of my buddies was trying to bang this chick that he'd be talking to for a while. So he was texting with her. She was at this house party. So of course, he's trying to smash, he gets us in there, right? We get the invite to come through. We drive over there. It's just the two of us, just him and me. And we get there, and I quickly realized, okay, first of all, this place was not in a very nice area of the city we live near. Sketchy neighborhood, sketchy house, sketchy parking lot. Everything about it was just sketchy. And secondly, we really only know two people there. We know the girl he's trying to smash and her friend there. And her friend is the girl that is the perpetrator in this scenario. And we're going to, just for purposes of privacy and whatever, we're just going to call her Audrey for the rest of the video, okay? So besides Audrey and her friend that my friend is trying to get with here, there's maybe 2 or 3 other girls. I really don't remember. There was probably about 15 people total, mostly dudes, not completely dudes, but it was mostly dudes and maybe a handful of other girls that we didn't know them at all. And they were a little bit older than us. I don't know why these girls were hanging out with these people. But we're 21 years old, man. We were pretty much the type of people that would do anything as long as it could somehow come out with a funny story or an outcome or whatever. We'll go to a sketchy house. We'll go hang out with people we don't know. We'll go party with older people, whatever. Because YOLO, right? Literally YOLO was a saying back then in 2012. It was real. People actually said it and meant it. It wasn't a meme. So anyway, we're hanging out, we're doing our thing. My friend is talking to his girl, trying to do whatever he's trying to do. And it was a good time. Okay. We were having fun at first. We were playing beer pong. I was getting along with these other sketchy dudes, even though they were quite sketchy, let me tell you. But I'm pretty good at talking to people, man. I could get along with just about anybody. That was always one of my strong suits as a younger adult. So as the night went on and my friend was talking to his girl, it became very apparent they were basically gonna bang by the end of the night or whatever. So as a result, Audrey, who is the only other person that I know there, she kind of latched on to me starting midway through the night. Now I knew this girl. I knew her decently well. I did. I've met her a couple times at this point. We weren't super close or anything, but we had hung out a couple of times previously just through mutual friends and stuff like that. And I'm just going to tell you right off the riff, man. This girl wasn't disgusting. She wasn't nasty, but I didn't find her attractive. She was definitely not a girl I was trying to bang. I'll leave it at that, man. I did not have sexual interest in her. This was before I met my wife, by the way. I was single at the time, just to clear the air here, okay? Anyway, hours go by. It's St. Patrick's Day. We're fucked up, man. I'm fucked up badly. I remember exactly what I drank that night. I had a half a pint of Captain Morgan. Ugh, absolutely disgusting to even think about that. And a 6-pack of Rolling Rock Tall Boys. That is a lot of booze, man, especially for a 21-year-old kid. If you're drinking that, dude, You are impaired. You are straight up intoxicated. Now, I'm already at the point where I could barely walk from drinking so much, man. And somebody comes in the room with a big bottle of Jameson whiskey and goes, we got to take shots. We got to drink Irish whiskey, right? St. Patrick's Day, no? And this is where things started to go south fast. As much of partiers as we were back then, I was more than good for the night, okay? I had no business consuming any additional alcohol after this point. I didn't want to do it, but it was one of those things where everybody, they're passing out shot glasses. You got to take one. And you can't be the guy that doesn't do it, right? And that's where I made the mistake right there, okay? I should have just said no, man. If you're ever in a scenario like this and you don't want to drink anymore, you need to say no. This is what I've learned in hindsight. But I didn't say no. I took the shots, okay? We ended up taking 4 more rounds of shots. So this is now in about a 2-hour period, a half a pint of rum, 6 tall boy beers, and 4 shots of whiskey. But I'm a cool guy, right? I'm newly 21. I can handle it. I'm a big drinker. I can outdrink you. Stupid, man. Just stupid. A literal stupid attitude to have, straight up. So some more time goes by. I don't know exactly how much, maybe 45 minutes to an hour or so, right? And then for some reason, a bunch of people are headed down to the basement of this house. So Audrey says to me, they're going down in the basement. You want to go with them? And I don't know why, just for whatever reason, I was like, sure, let's go. Fuck it, let's see what's going on down in the basement, My friend was nowhere in my peripheral vision at all. I was looking around the room for him like, hey, is he gonna come down too? Is your other friend gonna come down? Are all 4 of us gonna go down there? But I didn't know where they were at this point. So it's just me and Audrey and maybe 6 other really sketchy dudes headed out the side door, walking, stumbling. I'm literally like, dude, this chick, it's Audrey, she was probably carrying me down this wooden stair set outside to the hatchway where they opened it up and everybody was going in the basement. It was one of those really sketchy hatchway doors where you open it up, there's 2 big like steel doors or whatever, maybe not steel, but 2 big metal doors. You open them up, and then you have to like duck and go into the basement. It's like a sketchy wooden stair set, concrete all around you, unfinished basement, just so sketchy. Keep in mind, we are already in a sketchy neighborhood, hanging out with sketchy people, and now I'm going down into this sketchy basement with only one person I know, and I don't even know her that well. There's one very dimly lit, like yellow tinted light bulb lit up, and then there's a couch and a table. Turns out the reason they were going in the basement now was to snort drugs. And I am not a drug user, never have been. I don't even smoke weed, I was not about this, okay? And she wasn't either. So I go and sit on this couch with her, and she starts like really getting close to me now. She's putting her arm around me, and I remember thinking to myself, all right, I know what she's trying to do, but I'm not going to do it. We're just going to chill here. We're going to let these dudes snort their drugs, and we're all going to be out and about on our merry way after. But deep down, I'm not kidding. I was scared. I was honestly scared, man. I didn't want to be around drugs. I didn't want to be in this sketchy basement anymore. I didn't want to be this fucking drunk. But here we are, okay? It's too late. I've gotten myself into a really bad situation where I'm uncomfortable. All these guys had a thick Eastern European accent, and I only say that, I know some people might get mad that I say that, but I only say that because it made me think of the movie Taken. Like, I literally thought I was about to get kidnapped and sold on the black market. At some point, I don't know who, I don't remember if it was her, I don't remember if it was one of the dudes that was down there. Somebody produces a bottle of tequila and starts passing it around. This was the nail in the coffin, the straw that broke the camel's back, man, okay? Again, I didn't want to drink anymore, but like before, it's like I took 4 shots of that whiskey. I was still somewhat awake and alert, and I thought, well, it's been a little while since I had a last drink. I don't want to look like a pussy. So I take the bottle, and I just take a giant swig out of it, no chaser. Oh my God, I remember I just wanted to throw up so bad because the thought of just consuming any more alcohol at this point was disgusting. Why was I doing this? Why? Who was I trying to impress? I don't know. I can't tell you. So I take a swig out of it. She takes a swig out of it. And little did I know, I'm moments away from blacking out. We're still sitting down there. Few minutes, maybe 10 minutes go by. She's touching my face, touching my ears. She wants to bang, okay? At this point, I know what's going on, okay? She actually says to me at this point now, she goes up, she starts whispering in my ear, and she goes, I know I'm moving away next week, but technically tonight is my last night to do anything. So What do you say we have some fun before I leave? She was moving to a different state the following week. I vividly remember those words just so clearly. I don't know why. I just remember them. I don't know what I said. I don't know if I even answered her at all. I might have laughed. I might have said, damn, that sucks. I might have said, okay, sure. I have no idea. Right as this exchange is happening, and this is the last thing I remember before blacking out, two of the Eastern European dudes next to us start screaming about their drugs, getting into a huge fight. And I remember one of them pulled out the light on his phone and he shined the light on it and he goes, "It's fucking yellow, bro." Meaning they just discovered they were snorting a drug that was not the drug they thought they were snorting. And they started screaming at each other. Like whoever the guy was that brought it, they were going at it. I thought someone was going to pull out a gun. I was so scared at this point. And the last words I remember hearing from one of them before blacking out was, "I think I'm overdosing." Boom. Blackness. Don't remember a single thing after that. My friend, who was still upstairs talking to his girl at this party, said that he remembered her leading me upstairs and me just drunkenly, like in a stupor, just kind of looking at him with this look of help me on my face. She brought me into a bedroom and I woke up and we were having sex. She was on top of me, no condom, no recollection of how any of it started. Nothing before that dude said he was overdosing. That was the last thing I remember before waking up and here we were doing it. Now, when you come to after being wasted, like it happens very, very fast. You quickly gain back all of the, motor skills and thinking skills, and you get level-headed pretty quickly when you come back from being blacked out. And for whatever reason, even though I did not want to have sex with this girl, I really didn't. For whatever reason, when I woke up and realized what was going on, I just decided to go through with it. And maybe that's the wrong call. I don't know why I decided to do that. I don't know if I was like afraid of making a big scene, or if I was gonna, feel embarrassed if I made a big scene, or I didn't want her to feel bad, or if I said, "Oh, well, fuck it, it's already too late. It already went in there," I don't know. All I did was just force myself to finish this up as fast as possible. I put on my fucking pants and I went out the bedroom door, and at the exact same time I go out the bedroom door, I see my friend coming out of the bedroom door with the chick he was with, the reason we were there in the first place. They're in a great mood because they just banged, consensually, and he just comes up to me and he looks at me and goes, "Did you get laid?" And I was like, "Yup," kind of looking at the ground, and then I said, "Did you?" And he goes, "Yup, but she was on her period." And that was it. We left. We were out. We exited the premises immediately, and that was it. We went home. So a couple of things that I want to say about this experience now. Yes, by definition, it does meet the requirements of the R word. Okay, let's look at the definition of the R word right now. I can't say it because I'll get hit with the yellow, which is like completely stupid because I'm telling a legitimate story here. But anyway, Merriam-Webster defines the R word as unlawful sexual activity and usually sexual intercourse carried out forcibly or under threat of injury against a person's will, or with a person who is beneath a certain age or incapable of valid consent because of mental illness, mental deficiency, intoxication, unconsciousness, or deception. Intoxication, check. Unconsciousness, possible. I don't really know if I was unconscious, but blacked out nonetheless. Although this scenario meets the definition of the R word, I'm not sure that I would exactly consider that what happened to me, but I think there's a lot of people out there that would. And I think the main reason that I wanted to share this story is because as a man telling this story, like this happened 8 years ago. Basically in those 8 years, whenever somebody brings up that night, I gotta just kind of play it off like, "Oh, you slept with a fat chick by accident," But it's really, it's much more serious than that. It really is. I never outed this girl. I never got mad about it. I never really said anything to her about it. Like, she hit me up on Facebook like a week later when she was about to move, and I didn't really respond to her. I think I just said like, "Oh, like, good luck," or whatever. I don't hate her. I don't have any ill will towards her, but at the same time, it just wasn't a good experience. Like, I've never looked back on this and been like, "Oh, that was great." I've never reimagined this scenario or replayed it in my head when I was jerking it. But seriously, it's not like a pleasurable experience that I had. It's not something that I look back on with positive feelings. But as a man, over the years, whenever this comes up or whenever I think about it, I've always had to just kind of laugh it off because I feel like I have to, Yeah, you can't get called a pussy by your bros by complaining about something like this. So fortunately, at least I am the type of person that is able to look back and just kind of chuckle at this. And, like I said, it wasn't violent. It wasn't really traumatic. It doesn't keep me up at night. but it is an example of what I would have to guess that many men have been through this at some point in their lives, and we all just got to make a joke about it, you know? It's all got to just end up being a funny story, when in reality, it's probably really not that funny to you deep down underneath. So that's it, dudes. That is my story. That is my, you know, legitimate, I would call it a legitimate Me Too experience. If people are putting the shit out here on the internet and we're all gonna be telling stories, I figured that I would tell mine. I think mine is different than most of the ones that you hear about. I don't think many men come out and really even talk about anything like this, to be honest. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. I don't see it. With the people I'm friends with and the people I follow online and stuff, I never ever see stuff like this. So maybe I'm wrong and I'm just not seeing it. But I think it's a conversation worth bringing up and having, and that's why I'm bringing it up today. So let's have it down in the comments, man. You guys let me know your thoughts about this. If there's anybody out there that's had a similar experience and you feel comfortable to share it, please feel free to do so. And fellas, don't worry about me. I'm fine. I really am. I just figured that if there was ever a time to share this information with, you know, whatever platform I have here, now would be the time to do it, and now you know. All right, dudes, that's it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and turn your goddamn notifications so you can be a part of the buzz every single time a new video goes live. And follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links are both down below, and I will see you dudes in the next video. Love you, bye. Stay safe, fellas.